Hey there, guys. I am on a 30-day sabbatical. Earlier this year in January, when I was mapping out my year, I felt like the Lord very clearly told me that I needed to carve out the month of August on my schedule. And I didn't know why, but I have learned after 53 years that when the Lord tells you to do something, you just need to do it. And so I let all of the leaders at Gravity know. I let my family know. I let my son know, who works daily with me in our construction company. And here we are. So today's my first day of a sabbatical. It kind of started last night, but today's my first day. I don't exactly know what I am going to be doing for the next 30 days. All I know is that the Lord told me to come up to Reading and to spend the first few days at Bethel Church, which I've never been to before. So I've got some great friends, Chad and Allison Collins, which look at their beautiful house. They actually aren't home. It just worked out, so they're letting me crash here for a few days to kind of launch into this sabbatical. And I went to Bethel this morning, and you know, there's a lot of things you can kind of believe about somebody or a certain place based upon what you see online or the presentation that's given, or from the critics that would try to paint a certain picture. But I got to tell you that for me, when I walked into their sanctuary, there was a whole lot going on. Today, Saturday morning, they do a thing that they called healing rooms, which it's my first time. I didn't know anything going into it. I just showed up because I saw it on their calendar. And as I walked in, there was a worship team playing worship on the stage. Not very loud, kind of subdued, but loud enough to where it filled the room. There was a section of chairs that had been set up, maybe 50 chairs over in the corner, and there was the cross, and there was communion being served, and it was a place where you could just go sit with the Lord and just have your own personal time of communion. In the middle of the room, they had a bunch of easels set up where there were paintings being done. There were artists that were literally painting, and beautiful, beautiful paintings. And then there were chairs scattered throughout this large auditorium. And if you wanted to receive prayer for healing, if you were sick in your body and you wanted for them to pray, they had you fill out a form. They organized people into groups, and you would just kind of watch up on the screen, and they would call your group, and they'd say, group number 1, please go over to the side of the auditorium where the prayer team is located. They want to pray for you. And it was just very open and spontaneous, very non-religious. I mean, there was so many different types of people dressed. I was pretty casual, wearing a hat and shorts, and there was people much more casual than me. But it was just incredible just to watch and just kind of take it all in. And then I started experiencing the presence of God in a way that just felt so, so good. So many people on Saturday nights at Gravity Church, I get to watch it because if I'm leading worship or if I'm speaking, I watch the way that the power of God's Spirit hits them. And I watch the tears, I watch the hands go up, I watch people make gestures of surrender. And I've noticed that it happens at random times on a Saturday night. It's not just when the music's going on. Sometimes it's when I'm speaking or at the end. And today, that's what hit me. There was no preacher, there was nobody in the front of the room that was really leading it. They would come up from time to time and give instruction. But I was just sitting there praying and seeking God. And it was if I could just feel periodic waves of his goodness just pass over me. And when I would feel his presence, I would just be overwhelmed with emotion, and I would start crying and worshiping. And I was reminded of Moses when he told God, I want to see your face. I want to see your glory. Let your goodness just pass before me. And God had to cover him with his hand. And I just was like, man, God, your goodness, it's like it comes in waves. And if we'll just be patient and sit in a place where the presence of God is being lifted and he's being worshiped, he'll just come through that room. And I was there for a couple hours. They started like an hour before I got there. And I'm telling you that probably for hour after hour upon hour, God would love to just pour out his goodness wave after wave after wave. Pray for me. I don't know what's next. I got my guitar with me. I felt like the Lord kind of put it on my heart that he wants me to write. I haven't written a song probably in 20 years, since before we started Gravity Church. And I got stuff to write, maybe books or sermons or, I don't know, short stories, I don't know. But I'm just going with the flow and enjoying it so far. So here's day one. God bless you guys.